some of the worst wars in the last 20, 30 years have been civil wars like the one now going on in Syria. So I don't think we will see world peace, but I do believe in the reality of preventable wars, unnecessary and preventable wars.
You would tell me how you define peace, because we still have, conflict on issues, conflict on power sharing, conflict on many things. Always conflict emerge. But I think it's the issue of violence that we need to fight.
I mean, I think this is a challenge of how you define world peace. Do you mean that no one ever commits violence against anyone? Does it mean that nations are not at war against one another? Does it mean that, if you have a world in which the nation state is increasingly not the organizing principle, then world peace really means different groups not acting violently against one another?
It's certainly possible. It is unlikely, made unlikely by the fact that there are always parties that are interested in not achieving world peace.
I think it would be very naive to think we're going to see world peace anytime soon. I think driving for world peace without driving for some element of economic integration and harmony is naive, unfortunately.
It's very hard for me to conceive of world peace independent of justice for everybody living in the states that they're living in. So simply ending up in a world of stable tyranny where countries aren't at war with one another, but some countries are very effective at crushing dissent and preventing democratic movements. That's not peace for me.
I have absolutely no idea. Doesn't mean we shouldn't keep working for it. We will never know the answer to that question, I don't think. I rather doubt that we will arrive at a situation of perpetual peace.
I'm with Immanuel Kant in saying that perpetual peace is the peace of the graveyard. The greatest achievement of utopians is not the total elimination of the scourge of war, but the reduction of the incidence of war to an extent that it is like a brush fire rather than like a conflagration.
It's possible, and I think we've seen indications of how it could come about. I mean, for all its problems, look at Western Europe today compared to Western Europe 50, 100, 200, 400 years ago. Look at other large areas that way. It's possible by continuing to develop interdependence and collaborative structures.
Because I actually think that world peace is not just possible, it's highly likely in the years to come, because there's absolutely no reason today to go to war with one another, because you can succeed and become a thriving, prosperous country. In fact, you're more likely to succeed in becoming a thriving, prosperous country if you avoid wars.
Absolutely. I mean, the world is so much more peaceful today than 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. I think we're really close. It's a worthy goal.